To my old viewers, this video was long coming. Finally, you might be thinking to yourself. To my new viewers, welcome. It's about to get informative up in this place. Oh yeah, and if you haven't already noticed, I'm back to this editing style. This is because I moved and I don't yet have a space to have like a proper recording area. But oh well, you guys like the style better anyways. But yes, Aphrodite. Hail to Aphrodite Pandemos. You who are common to all the people, queen of love, of beauty, of sweet desire. O fairest of Olympus, to which no one comes close. Let your radiance speak with no words needed. Guided by the heart, let all know your name. Let all experience love. So it is, and so may it be. Aphrodite is the Marilyn Monroe of the gods, and even beyond that, because comparing her beauty to that of any mortal is an insult to her very nature. But what are her origins? What does she represent? What are some important epithets? All that and more will be answered in this video, so make sure to watch to the end. Setting the scene, we have Ouranos and Gaia, the sky in all its glory and the earth to be where the sky was not. But it didn't always look the way it does now. Ouranos was obsessed with Gaia and laid with her again and again and again and again. This represented the continuous union between the earth and the sky. They were inseparable, interlocked perpetually through intercourse. All until one day, Ouranos fell victim to an ambush orchestrated by Gaia. Their offspring, Cronus, used a sickle to cut off Ouranos' genitals, symbolizing the permanent separation of earth and sky, paving the way for all life as we know it to thrive the way it does now. The implications of this action are for another video, but let's take a closer look at the aftermath of this event. The sky's sacred bits fell into the domain of Pontus, the ocean, specifically near the southern coast of the island Cyprus. The dismembered body part fell into the sea as foam began to appear all around it. From this, Aphrodite emerges, not as a child born of a mother, but instead she emerges fully grown and fully naked. Her domain consists of several things, but the two main ones are love and beauty. That is the meat and potatoes of what she is at her core. She is elegant, she is heavenly, she is fierce, and her name shall be known by all. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What exactly makes Aphrodite so special? Similarly to several other popular deities, Aphrodite's domain caused her to stand out. You should not, would not, and could not make it through life without experiencing some form of love. You see, love at its core is more than just romance. It affects everyone in some way, shape, or form. Love is just that base attraction between two people and can be characterized in several different ways, at least according to the Greeks. There is storge, which is characterized as familial love. It can be described as any type of familial love, but is most commonly used to describe the relationship between a parent and a child. Up next is philia, the Greek word for platonic love. This is your friends, neighbors, and even the love of strangers that would fall under philia. Then we have eros. This is characterized as either romantic attraction or sexual desire, but can be talking about both at the same time. Then, finally, we have agape. This is sort of a sacrificial, selfless love that can accompany any of the other types of loves when the bond is strong enough. Additionally, we have ludus, playful casual love, pragma, long-lasting love, philotia, self-love, and mania, obsessive love, but they're not as widely known as the first four I mentioned. Aphrodite, on a surface level, you would think only represents Eros. She's known as the goddess of sexual pleasure. She emerged from the sea without clothes on. There is that lie about the temple prostitutes that was not made up entirely by the church, but was paraded around by them as a, hey, look at these gross pagans type of deal. Only the people who cared to see her for what she really was ended up finding the truth about her. She encompassed not just Eros, but also philia, ludus, pragma, mania, and yes, of course, philotia. The only two types of love that Aphrodite has yet to touch upon directly is storge and agape. It can be easy to just look at the myths of her punishing people for claiming to be prettier than her. because that did happen a lot, and make your judgment on her, but I promise you by the end of this video, you'll see why Aphrodite has her place in Olympus. You see, as with most of the gods, the specifics of their domains come from a combination of their myths and how their respective cults interpreted and responded to those myths. Aphrodite, though, is special in the sense that even certain epithets got vastly differing reactions from worshippers. As I mentioned in my epithet video, Aphrodite really has two major epithets, not including Aphrodite Cyprus and Aphrodite Catharia, because those epithets did not have specific nature to them, but instead correlated to specific people of those islands. These epithets are called Orania and Pandemos, the heavenly and common to all the people. Aphrodite Orania is depicted as angelic, a heavenly goddess, focusing more on her as a daughter of Uranos more than anything. She is gentle and supportive, almost like a guardian of sorts. She is unattainable in the sense that no one could ever reach her beauty. She is in a league of her own in every sense of the phrase. She's far off, but graces us by reaching back to aid those who worship her. She is the perfect caricature of what it means to be a goddess. Aphrodite Pandemos is almost the entire opposite of everything Urania stood as. Instead of being this unattainable angelic deity, Aphrodite Pandemos is here with us, and she makes her presence known. Pandemos meaning common to all the people, Aphrodite became more than just a one-off goddess who occasionally made people fall in love with each other regardless of the consequences. She became the embodiment of every part of love that we know so far. Even then, she still lacked the representation of anything other than Eros and Philotia, until Athens did something amazing. You see, somewhere along the line, Pandemos adopted a new meaning. It became a promise. Common to all the people no longer just describes types of love that were common to the people. No, Aphrodite Pandemos symbolizes the fact that love should be common to all the people, so that brother and sister, friends and strangers, liked or disliked, should and will all experience love. It was and is interpreted in a way that will promote unity amongst all the people of Athens and even beyond, to unite all under one political or social group. We all may be vastly different as people, but we all love and know Aphrodite's domain. Of course, the modern interpretations of this differ from the ancient interpretations, but the idea remains the same, uniting a group of people in the name of love. Some important myths for you to know include the affair between Aphrodite and Ares, the apple of discord, and her love for the mortal Adonis. In the affair between her and Ares, Zeus has her marry the god Hephaestus in order to hopefully keep her in check in regards to her flirting with literally all of the other gods. This basically did nothing though, because she soon after has an adulterous affair with the god of war Ares. The soldier Alectryon was ordered to stand guard while the other two deities did their thing, but one day he fell asleep on the job. It's a lot for Helios, the god who sees everything the light touches, to become aware of this affair and alert Hephaestus to it, who shortly after laid a trap that, when it was inevitably triggered, restrained the two gods in a net, leaving them unable to move or even separate their bodies. All the Olympian gods laughed at them, and it wasn't until Poseidon pleaded to Hephaestus that they were allowed out of the trap. The apple of discord was more short and sweet. All the gods were at a wedding that Eris, the goddess of strife, was not invited to. As revenge, she scribes to the fairest on a golden apple and tosses it into the crowd of goddesses. One thing led to another, and the only three goddesses who stood their ground in contest of the apple were Hera, queen of the gods, Athena, goddess of wisdom and war, and you guessed it, Aphrodite. Now, as you would expect, they went to Zeus in order to have him decide who was the most beautiful of the goddesses, but he, showcasing the extensive wisdom of the king of the gods, refused to give his opinion on the matter. Instead, he had Hermes lead them to Paris of Troy, where he eventually chooses Aphrodite and wins the prize that is Helen of Troy. You know, because she doesn't get a say in it or anything like that. Lastly, we have Adonis. He was this guy that was so beautiful, Aphrodite threw him into a chest and left him with Persephone where no one could find him. Nosy Persephone, though, eventually peeked into the chest and saw the beautiful man and wanted him for herself. She refused to return him to Aphrodite, and the two went to Zeus for guidance in that matter. The king of the gods declared that Adonis would spend a third of the year with Persephone, one third with Aphrodite, and one third with whoever he chooses. He ended up choosing to be with Aphrodite for his third, which made Persephone jealous. Depending on which version of the story you read, she had a hand in his death, or it just happened. But yes, while hunting, Adonis was killed by a boar. Overall, Aphrodite has a lot of myths about her. A lot of loves and flings and things of that nature. She has a relatively small number of epithets, at least compared to Apollo, for instance, and she has a history of playing by her own rules. She is confident, fierce, and most importantly, loving in many different ways. Aphrodite may be one of the most complex goddesses that I know of, and it's important to not overlook her as simply the goddess of romance, because she is so much more than that, and everyone will see that at some point or another. Because as Aphrodite Pandemos says, love is common to all the people, and shall be known by all. Oh, and if you want to participate in an online ritual dedicated to Aphrodite, you should join my Discord server. That is just one of many events that I have planned out, with many more to come. Link in the description.